YouTube, how's it going? Frogs Angels is back with some more NFL content for the 2018 season. So I have a series of videos here to come in the near future, starting with this one. I'm taking the best player of each team, in my opinion. Well, this video is AFC teams, and I'm going to give you, in my opinion, their best offensive player for the upcoming season. So we will go to NFC offensive players, and then we'll go back to AFC defensive players and NFC defensive players. We'll go breakout player from each team, in my opinion. So we got a lot of fun stuff coming, but no specific order for this draft or for this video. I'm still in draft mode. I got to get out of draft mode, but I believe it's in alphabetical order here. We'll go with the Bills first. Best offensive player from each AFC team. The Bills, I went with LaShawn McCoy. I thought it was a pretty obvious one. The running back. Just been a dominant running back in the league for years now. I know some people are starting to think we should get a replacement here soon. Maybe, but I think still easily their best player. Maybe a shortage on receivers. Josh Allen going to struggle a little bit at first, just a rookie. Offensive line, they traded Cordy Glenn. Maybe he could have been up here, but Richie Incognito could have been up here. But I thought it was pretty simple. It's LaShawn McCoy is the Bills' best offensive player, in my opinion. I don't know if that's opinion. Let me know what you guys think. I think it might be a fact. To the Broncos. Pretty simple, just like the Bills, kind of simple one to take here. Demaryius Thomas. Maybe been a little quiet last few years. Maybe that's because of quarterback play. I thought about Keenum here, but one good year. Played very well with the Vikings, but we need to see him do it again with the Broncos. But maybe that helps Demaryius Thomas get back to an elite receiver, or was he even ever elite receiver? He's pretty close. So I went with Demaryius Thomas for the Broncos. Again, could be Case Keenum. We will see. I am a big Cortland Sutton fan, but way too early for that. On to the Browns. Who is the Browns' best player on their offense for the 2018 season? I went with Jarvis Landry, the newly acquired receiver from Miami. Just a dominant receiver in every part of the game. Can play slot, can play outside, catch the ball very well, gets a lot of receptions. Very good after the catch. Could be Josh Gordon if he's on the field, but from what Jarvis Landry showed us, he's their best player. Could it be Baker Mayfield? Could it be Tyrod Taylor? Could it be Nick Chubb if he gets the opportunity? But I think Carlos Hyde will be their guy. But I thought it was pretty easy for me on this one. Some of these teams were tough, but I just really thought of Jarvis Landry right away, and I stuck to it. On to the Chargers. The Chargers' best player. Now, this could be debated, but I was pretty confident on mine. I went with Melvin Gordon. Could be Phillip Rivers, still playing at a pretty high level. Could be Keenan Allen. Finally stayed healthy maybe he needs to see a little more. Not to tell if he's a good receiver. Obviously, he's more than a good receiver. But I think Melvin Gordon, he's so dominant to me and still very young. The problem with him coming out of college was catching the ball in the backfield, and he is doing that very well and getting better by game, by week, doing it. So, and still at a young age, he's going to develop it more. It's going to be a very scary running back, very good running back to watch. I think you could consider him elite going into this season. Maybe one of my favorite backs in football going forward. So Melvin Gordon, even though you could debate if somebody said Rivers or Allen, I wouldn't really argue it too much. But this, to me, is kind of clear, honestly. To the Chiefs. Kareem Hunt, the rookie running back from last year, at the top of the NFL in rushing yards. That was the key here, why I put him here. I could have put Eric Fisher, the offensive tackle, but, I mean, for Hunt to be at the top of the NFL in rushing yards, I just had to put him here. Obviously, more offensive lineman, very, very important, but Kareem Hunt, obviously more of an impact player, so I went him there. Could it be Mahomes? I think we need to see him play more for it to be him, but I was very high on him coming out of the draft. So it could be him after this year. We will see. On to the Bengals. Best player for the Bengals, pretty much a no-brainer here. It's A.J. Green, elite receiver, and he needs some more help maybe. I think that they got Joe Mixon in there in his sophomore year. I think he'll step up. He'll get more action. Jeremy Hill not there anymore, but they do have Gio Bernard. Andy Dalton, not quite cutting it to be their best player. I thought it was just pretty obvious that it's A.J. Green. I think everybody can agree with me on that. On to the Colts. Another interesting one. I did not go Andrew Luck. I went with T.Y. Hilton. Andrew Luck obviously hasn't been on the field due to injuries. But even when he's on the field, I still view T.Y. Hilton as the guy. Andrew Luck, obviously a Pro Bowl talent, maybe hasn't quite played to his hype yet. Hype was pretty crazy but definitely a talented quarterback if on the field. But T.Y. Hilton, very underrated, I think, elite receiver in my opinion. I mean, he's got every part of the game down. He's got the speed, which is obvious, but the fact that he can play slot, can play outside at a equally high level is rare, and you don't see it a lot, and it's very hard to do. So that's why T.Y. Hilton is my guy for the Colts. On to the Dolphins. Pretty tough one here. There's really no standout guy, unfortunately. But I went with Ryan Tannehill. It's obvious that they need him. I'm not super high on him, but he's a solid quarterback, which you never know what you're going to get from your quarterback. So we know he's worthy of a starting spot, hopefully still after the injury. But unfortunately for the Dolphins, there's really no standout guys. I did like the way that Kenyon Drake played at the end of last year, so we'll see if that continues on. Maybe Amendola steps up for them, but I don't know if he's as good as he was on the Patriots, just with any other team. Maybe it's just the Patriots effect, but still a solid receiver. Does Devontae Parker finally step up? I know he has it in him, but I went with Tannehill here. On to the Jaguars. I went Leonard Fournette going into his second year. Should be that much more impressive, and I think is easily their best player on their offense. So pretty much a no-brainer here. A couple of good offensive linemen. Picking up Andrew Norwell from the Panthers was big, but I went with Fournette. I thought it was pretty easy. Now this next one is the Jets. Jets fans, prepare yourself here. This is going to be very surprising, and I truly believe this is your best offensive player. I'm going to get hate for this. I already know it. I truly believe this is your best offensive player, Teddy Bridgewater. I don't know if he's going to start. I think he will get his chance sometime this year. I do think that. Just my favorite thing to do is evaluate the prospects in the NFL draft, and I was very, very high on Teddy Bridgewater, and then he showed it in Minnesota. The year that he got to start, he led them to the playoffs. Their defense was good then, but it was nowhere near as good as it is now. It was very good. But the offense had to do something, and Teddy did a lot. Very accurate, very smart quarterback. Maybe one of the better running quarterbacks, hopefully still after the injury. Maybe not the fastest quarterback running, but he's got ball carrier vision. He has better vision than a lot of running backs running the ball. And he made big-time plays with his legs, but he can really throw the ball too. Let's hope the injury didn't affect him. He's a very confident person. I don't think it is. I hear he's doing just extremely well in practice. So this could have been Isaiah Crowell. Really not too many options here, though. I'm a big believer in Teddy Bridgewater. I'm a big fan. The guy's a savage, pretty much what it comes down to. And I really think if you're a Jets fan, I really think he's your best player. That's my honest opinion. Yeah, I'm probably going to get bashed for that one, but it's my honest opinion. On to the Patriots. Not as obvious as you think, but I still went with Tom Brady, obviously quarterback being the most important position, what he's able to do at his age. And it's not just for his age. He's just maybe the best player in football. But what I meant by not as simple as you think, Gronkowski is so dominant, and he makes Brady look good sometimes just from, that came out wrong. Brady is good, but from some throws that only Gronk would probably make a big play on is what I meant. So you could put Gronk up here, but you got to go Brady. He's the best of all time, and he's still playing like it. On to the Raiders. Another tough one. I didn't go with Derek Carr. I went with Amari Cooper. Derek Carr needs to show me more, honestly. I know it's obvious that he's very good, but he needs to show me more. Unfortunate injuries in the past. But Amari Cooper is a very good possession receiver that can just take over the game at any time, honestly. So I went with Amari Cooper here. It wasn't that hard for me to decide that, even though some people may choose Derek Carr, which I can understand. The Ravens, another tough one. No standout guys anymore. Joe Flacco not really playing at an elite level, but maybe that's due to his lack of help, maybe at receiver. I went with Ronnie Stanley. I was pretty high on Ronnie Stanley coming out of college. I'm pretty high on him now. Maybe not the best year last year, not that it was bad or anything, but I think he's going to start stepping up now and start to be a big-time factor. I honestly think he is their best player. Alex Collins was very impressive, though, last year, so maybe him there. Maybe it could be Flacco. Maybe he's got a little better targets now, but needs better targets. I don't know. On to the Steelers. Pretty obvious one to me is Antonio Brown, maybe the best receiver in football. I'll be doing my position-by-position rankings in the near future, so we'll see if he's my best receiver in football. But you could say Le'Veon Bell, but the I think Antonio Brown's just so much more dominant. I think he's more important to them than Le'Veon Bell is, even though Le'Veon Bell is excellent, maybe the best back in football. Just really my thinking is if you put Le'Veon Bell on another team, is he as good? I know he's very good, but I don't know if he's as good. I think he's a very good fit in the Steelers' offense. You put Antonio Brown on another team, he's just as good. He's just as good. There's no doubt in my mind. So I want Antonio Brown there. We got 2 more teams left, Texans and Titans. On to the Texans. Thumbnail might have fooled you guys a little bit. I did think about it because I'm a huge Deshaun Watson fan, and we saw how good they were with him and then without him. But DeAndre Hopkins could potentially be the best receiver in football. So dominant. He bailed out Watson some of those times, even though Watson's very good. But I did consider Watson. I did. So the thumbnail wasn't that far out there. But Hopkins is a dominant receiver. There's a lack of the bailout receivers left in the NFL and coming into the NFL, and he's one of them. Maybe he is the bailout receiver of the NFL. What I mean by that is kind of when you have no choice, you got to throw the ball up and hope your receiver comes down with it. He's your guy. He's your guy. Maybe A.J. Green, maybe Julio Jones or the other guys, Mike Evans. But DeAndre Hopkins, so dominant and getting better too, which is scary. On to the Titans. Maybe one of the harder ones for the Titans. Because you got to take in consideration the past, what's happened in the past here, near like last year, the last 2 years, what I should say. But then this is for the 2018 season, so maybe their best player over the last few years has been Delanie Walker, has been Taylor Lewan. But for this season, I'm going with Marcus Mariota. I know he could be a dominant quarterback in this league. And I think he's their guy. He's their guy that if they want to go to the playoffs, they want to go deeper in the playoffs, it's because of him. I'm just looking back now, and their play calling was pretty terrible last year. I mean, you have right here maybe the best running quarterback in football, and he can throw. He's a passer first. But you might have I think you do. I think this is the best running quarterback in football, but it hasn't showed, and it's not his fault. It's because they were trying to make a pure pocket passer, sit in the pocket, throwing to 2 receivers and then 1 tight end, Delanie Walker, at the field at a time, just running obvious. It was bad. It's something I'm realizing now. We should be realizing, like when we watched Michael Vick, not that Mario was Michael Vick, it was just the guy's a running quarterback. It was so obvious because he's running all over the place. Mariota can do that, but they weren't letting him. I think we're going to start to see more of that. It's a team. I'm not a Titans fan, but it's a team I am mainly a quarterback that I'm very, very anxious to see this year, what they do, because I think they were holding this team back. I think the staff was holding this team back. And maybe I'm overreacting, but that's how I feel. So those are my best offensive players for each AFC team. I'm going to go to the NFC teams in tomorrow's video. Maybe you're watching the NFC one first. Doesn't matter the order you're watching it. I just thank you for watching and being a subscriber if you are. But then we'll go on to the defensive players. Then we'll go on to breakout players, and I'll start ranking my positions, players by position, and then top 10 players in the NFL in general. Then we're going to start predicting this year, team by team. So we got a lot of stuff planned, a lot of stuff scheduled leading up to the season, and during the season, got plenty of stuff. So thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe if you haven't already. Our goal is 10K subscribers, so help us get there, please. But that'll do it. Goodbye.